So today's video, we're going to go over version 2.9 of our HD OPTI app, but before getting into it, I'm going to quickly show you a before and after benchmark of my own computer, showing the performance gain. Please take into account that this will vary drastically from computer to computer, as you'll have varying hardware. Um, but this is the before benchmark, and this is the after. So the first benchmark, I know it's different from the second in terms of the date and the account. I built my computer. I didn't have any time to play around with it, and the other account's my brother's, so there's no sort of funny business going on there. But one of the things I'd like to touch up on is frame gen. So I know a lot of people with lower spec PCs run frame gen. Yeah, this is great for single player games where input lag's not really an issue, but with frame gen, it's an algorithm. So for every one real frame, two fake frames are generated. So yeah, you might have a nice number on your screen, but you're going to have a drastic increase in input lag. So this is something you don't want to have when you have real-time interactions with other players, and you'll have this sort of sensation of being joked. So yeah, that's something to consider. But please run a BO6 benchmark before, or if there's any game that you play, please take a video, see your performance, and then take an after video just to see the performance gain. Or if there's any sort of other applications you use to measure latency, that's also fine. But let's get into our app now. So we've got the dashboard page that shows you RAM, graphics card, processor, and the real-time temps. So this is something that we added recently. It's the tutorial page. One of the main things to do is after you've applied all of the tweaks that you want to apply, I would advise applying all of them. You want to restart your computer. This is a must. You have to do that, and there's some extra tips underneath that as well. So within Windows, I would apply everything in here. You've got restore points, so if you want to revert back, perfect. But here we've got the two power plans. So if you've got a really hot running CPU and you don't have adequate cooling, please just go for the balanced power plan. You can test the optimal one, but if you're having performance issues due to your CPU thermal throttling, then just go back to the balanced power plan. But yeah, again, try it for yourself. And yeah, I'd run through all of these tweaks. So the GPU settings, we've got the top three. This is for all vendors of cards. So if you've got AMD, Nvidia, or Intel, please run the top three. And then Nvidia GPU settings. So we've got two different driver settings here. We've got resize bar on, resize bar off. This depends on if your CPU bottlenecked, if your GPU bottlenecked. So please test this for yourself. Also, certain games don't really like resize bar. So yeah, again, test for yourself. See what works best for you. It's a click away from gaining some performance. So that's a good one to have. And also the AMD GPU settings. So network pack, a lot of people just spam through these and don't really know what they're doing, and people have questions about things. So please run the network pack and then the Windows 11 tweaks if you're on Windows 11. Don't run the reset network pack straight after. Just let it be, and you'll be fine. Controller KBM, so everything here to keep secure but on. So you can play games like Valorant and overclock your controller, which is perfect. Got download hid USBF here, so that puts it into your downloads folder. You don't have to go into a GitHub repository to find it, as that can be quite confusing for people. Also, we've got the all input section. This is going to allow Windows to interpret your inputs just that little bit quicker and make your inputs a little bit more precise. So this is perfect for games like Counter-Strike, Valorant, that I personally play. I've noticed the difference. So for game configs, when you play games like Call of Duty, I know off the top of my head there's other games like Fortnite, so you're going to have a pop-up and it's going to say set optimal settings. This is Call of Duty's way, or say Fortnite's way of saying, oh, this is our ideal settings, and it's going to put everything to high. It's going to make things look better graphics-wise, but if you're looking for that performance gain in terms of FPS and lower latency, please click no, then you'll have our config on your computer. So that is a must. But that's something to take into account when you're applying these. Going to the cleanup and health check section, we've got system cleanup. Just run through all these at your own time. Maybe you want to do it once a day, once a week. It's up to you. I run them every week or so. System health check. This will try and repair your Windows if it's corrupted. If you don't have any luck and it doesn't manage to do that, please just fresh install Windows off a USB or any sort of Windows bootable image, as that's the cleanest and best way to get rid of that sort of corrupt Windows issue. So this is a new section we've added, and this is stream settings. So we've got NVIDIA and AMD, specifically for OBS. So we've got minimum, recommended, and high. So if you've got a lower end PC that's kind of struggling with performance, and also maybe you don't have great internet, you've got quite low upload speeds, go with the minimum. Recommended, yeah, again, if you've got a sort of mid, nowadays a lot of CPUs are quite powerful as well as GPUs, so you shouldn't really have too much of an issue streaming. But yeah, try what's best for you, whether it's recommended, high, or minimum. And same goes for AMD. Just try these out, and you'll figure out what's best for you. Go into the bloater. There's disable and start up apps. So for a lot of people, they've got say 8 or 16 gigabytes of RAM. When you've got a lot of things running in the background, whether it's your Internet Explorer, Brave, whatever sort of browser you've got, maybe you've got a bunch of other apps, that's going to take up a lot of your RAM. So when your RAM runs at full capacity, it's being fully utilized, you're going to see a drastic drop in CPU performance. So this is the best thing to do. Come into here, you can disable your startup apps just by clicking them, and that's how you do that. We can also disable services for you if you'd like help with that, or if you want to look online and do your own research, that's also fine, just to lower your process count a little bit more. But you do risk breaking things in Windows, so please don't go around just randomly clicking things and disabling them, or try to put things back to manual, just for like a small marginal gain in CPU performance. So please take that into account, and do your research before you touch anything like that. Quality of life here, these are some nice to have features. Yep, same sort of 4 features here. These are brilliant to have, and then a few apps that we think you'd like to use. So PC specs. This is a huge one that a lot of people don't know if they've got XMP enabled for their RAM in their BIOS. So if you've got a pre-built PC or you built it yourself, this is something you should check. So for DDR4 RAM, it's 2133 is the standard clock speed, and for not clock speed, mega transfers and a frequency, and for DDR5 it's 4800 is the base mega transfers, or the frequency. So I've got DDR5 RAM. You can see it here. I've got mine tuned to 8000 megahertz. This is a custom tune that I put on myself. I've done the testing of subtimings, things like that. And also another thing I'd like to say is please do not mismatch RAM. I've seen so many people mismatch RAM. Maybe they've got different frequencies, maybe they've got different subtimings. All these things, you'll end up not being able to boot with XMP or run at higher frequencies. Also, you're going to hinder your CPU performance, so please don't do it. I know people think, oh, you can just stick it and it's going to work. Please just don't do it, and just do your own research. Or you can speak to us and we'll give you some pointers. And additionally, you can send specs into our Discord. So that's for today's video. I'm going to leave our socials in the description, and also a video on, not a video, I'm going to leave a link to an article that we created for enabling XMP in your BIOS. So that's quite a handy one to have if you want to go and do that yourself. And yeah, that's everything for today.